Welcome to the Port of Oulu. Ensuring your safety and the smooth operation of the port is our most important task. Therefore, you should read a few rules and instructions before you arrive in the port. So, make yourself comfortable for the next 8 minutes. The Port of Oulu is the largest general port in the Gulf of Bothnia and the largest container port with hundreds of ship calls every year. The Port of Oulu operates 24 hours a day, all year round. The Port of Oulu has 3 harbours: Oritkari, Nuottasaari and Vihreäsaari. Oritkari handles, for example, containers and forest industry products. In the immediate vicinity of Oritkari, there is the Oulu Port House, where the port administration operates. The Nuottasaari harbour is located in the industrial complex managed by Stora Enso, and traffic there passes across the mill site through the Oritkari gate. In addition to the port access permit, you will need a separate access pass to get to the Nuottasaari quay. Ask the Port of Oulu personnel for more information. Nuottasaari handles raw materials for the forest industry and liquid chemicals. Vihreäsaari handles liquid and dry bulk, meaning bulk products. Fuels, among other products, are stored in the Vihreäsaari harbour. This is why smoking and open fires are strictly prohibited in the area. Safety in the port requires the input of everyone. This means risk assessment of work assignments and planning the tasks carefully. Pay attention to what is happening around you and report any abnormal observation to port security. The Port of Oulu adheres to the ISPS code on security arrangements for ports and ships issued by the International Maritime Organization, IMO. Under the code, access to port must be controlled and the port area can only be accessed for a justified reason. Compliance with the rules is monitored by the Finnish Transport and Communications Agency, Traficom. It is prohibited to move in the port without authorization, and you may not bring your own guests into the port area. In Oritkari, non-motorized transport to the port is directed through personnel gate. When moving in the port area, you must use CE-marked high-visibility clothing with company logo and a helmet. We recommend that cars use hazard flashes when driving. Parking is only permitted in the areas indicated. In the port, mobile machinery always has right of way. You must pay attention to all machines at work and cranes and give way as they have limited visibility. The Oritkari container cranes move on the main berth on their own rails. Do not walk under a load suspended by a crane. The mobile cranes move around the whole port area. Moving in their working area is also strictly prohibited. Trains come to Oritkari and Nuottasaari harbours several times a day. Pay attention to train transport and the stop signs in the level crossings when moving in the port area. Move carefully in the vicinity of the railroad tracks as the locomotive usually pushes the wagons. Access to the port is closely controlled, and random checks are also carried out at the gates on persons and vehicles with a permit. Be prepared to show proof of identity always when moving in or coming into the port area. Access control is carried out with, among other things, surveillance cameras, license plate identification and PIN codes. Everyone working in the port must carry a personal photo ID and high-visibility clothing for professional use marked with the company name. All the parts of the port have recording camera surveillance. Suspicious persons and any other anomalies must be reported immediately to the port security, which also acts as the port security contact point. Dangerous goods pass through the Port of Oulu. They are stored in specifically designed areas where outsiders are not allowed to go. There are 2 liquefied petroleum gas containers near the gate between Nuottasaari and Oritkari. Their safety zone is limited by booms. The port shelters are located at the seaward end of warehouse number 2 and in the port house. Always leave the areas next to fire hydrants free. If you notice leakage or anything else alarming, notify the port security immediately. In an emergency, call the emergency number 112 to notify the emergency. Make sure help arrives at the right place. Also notify the port security. Evacuation assembly areas are located at the entrance gates in Oritkari and in Vihreäsaari, and in Oritkari also at one end of the port house garage. When you hear the general alarm siren in the Nuottasaari harbour, go to the nearest shelter. In other situations, you can leave the area through the Oritkari harbour and gate. Remember the following in particular. Smoking is prohibited in the port area. Be careful and avoid the work machines. If necessary, stop to observe the environment. Pay special attention to rail crossings and road junctions. Be careful in blind spots, such as around the warehouses and in front of doors. See and be seen, meaning wear high visibility clothing and use flashers. Wear a helmet and other personal protective equipment. Protect the site where you are working and make sure it is safe. If necessary, draft a safety plan for your place of work. If you need a permit for hot work, contact the client and find out who will grant the hot work permit. Depending on the place of hot work, it may be either the port authority or the operator. Always be prepared to prove your identity. If something is unclear or you notice something unusual or suspicious, report it immediately to the port authority. You can get an access permit to the port through the Port Oulu Smarter application or from port security. Thank you for having learned our safety instructions. Remember that we all together make the port safe. Welcome to the Port of Oulu.